Hi everyone, it's Holly Maria King, and excuse me. We are back with the Emblem Knights of Rough Draft. We're on chapter 27. We're coming to an end of the Rough Draft version. Final Draft, I've noticed I'm 10 chapters behind, so that's kind of funny. But yeah, this is when it starts getting even more ridiculous than it has already gotten. My teenage brain was all over the place with this story. So, let's get started, and we're going to meet a sister that's not in the final draft. Spoiler. Chapter 27, 5 New Mouths to Feed. The months flew by, one after another. Before anyone knew it, Michelle and had her child. It was a girl, and she had named her Hope. She said it was because the group needed as much hope as they could get. But Yuri, and many others for that matter, believed it was because Murphy had been brought back to life by her sister. Maddie had known her sister would be jealous, so the biggest reason she had kept it a secret was her sister. No one would have believed that 7 months ago, Michelle wasn't as kind as you think she'd be. Now that the babies were born, they had only a couple more months to wait, but it all depended on John's decision. Yui's coming today, Yuki said excitedly one day. And Yui would be? Yuri asked her sister with a confused look on her face. Our older sister, silly, Yuki told her, laughing. Alice and Alex looked at Yuki with shock on their faces. I didn't know we had an older sister, Yuki, Yuri said. They don't. They don't. Oh yeah, I completely forgot to tell you, Yuki gasped. Yeah, that was kind of one of those things I would like to know as soon as possible, Yuri said. She looked across to the table at Alice. The girl was knitting baby clothes for both Murphy and Hope. But she didn't seem to like the way Yuri had just spoken to Yuki. Look, maybe she was just so excited to see you that she forgot to tell you, Alex offered. He could feel the tension rise suddenly and did not want a fight to break out. You're right. I'm sorry, it just feels like we've been seeing each other for a long time, but in reality it's only been 4 months, Yuri said apologetically. It's okay, Yuki said with a shrug. I should have told you earlier. There you guys are, John said with a smile spread across his face. Yuri, Ray's looking for you, and so is Jack. Why are you smiling like that? Alice asked, putting her knitting needles down for a moment. When Yui gets here, she gets to choose when we go, John told her. Shouldn't we wait at least a couple months after the babies become more acquainted with the world before we start moving? Yuki asked. John shook his head. No, if we're careful, we can take the little rascals with us, he said. It's important that you go right now, Yuri. Oh, okay, Yuri said, and left the table with a gracious bow. Garrett? What the hell word is that? Holly, your writing is a little questionable. Finally, we decided to come. You decided to come, Ray said, pulling Yuri aside. You'll have to forgive him. He hasn't had a lot of sleep lately, Alec murmured to her. Since Yuri had been there had been only 2 people from Jack's house that she really enjoyed being around, Mike and Alec. Though Mike and Alec's polar opposite, the 2 of the boys were the best of friends. Alec was quiet and reserved, with long white hair. His hair had started turning white after an experiment gone wrong 16 years ago. At least that's how the rumor went. Truthful, Alec's true hair color was white. He was also kind and fair. Almost as fit as anyone could be. Yuri laughed at the comment he told her. What did you need to see me for? She asked Jack, since he was the only one really paying attention. We have 4 different scenarios for distractions, and we wanted 2 people's opinion for. He explained to her. Let's see them. The floor was littered with papers, and Yuri could only guess that they had been trying to figure out a way to distract the senior advisor. Here they are, Ray said. He stood over 2 of his ideas, beaming with pride. Yuri looked at both of them and thought for a second before switching places with Alec. Yuri hated to bring down her leader, but Jack's second idea made the most sense. I like this one, she said. Ray frowned. What do you think, Alec? I think you're right, Alec said, who had already looked over all 4 plans. What? Ray marched over flabbergasted. You're joking. He quickly looked the paper over. Why should we both bother with decoys? I really think you should go get some rest, Yuri told him. Ever since they had went to Jack's house, Ray had gradually broken out of his calm and collective groove. Ray thought for a second. Maybe you're right. He smacked the paper down on the table. Then all of you can make the plans without me. So, you really think this one will work? Jack asked, as he pointed to the paper. Well, I'm not so sure about it working, but it will deplete his energy considerably. It's the only hope we have, Yuri said, looking over the plan again and again. Where will he be next? Alec asked. He'll be here in a couple of days, Jack told him. Why didn't you tell us? Yuri was shocked. I didn't really think it mattered, Jack said calmly. He rarely ever lost control of himself. Well, looks like we're leaving a week from today then, Alec asked his leader. Jack shook his head thinking. Alright, see you at dinner. I have to go too, Yuri said, waving goodbye. Thank you, Yuri, Jack told her. Yuri smiled at him. Anytime. She bowed and walked out the door. Sadly for her, Roy was waiting outside the door for her. He had his arms slung over the frame of the door and barred Yuri's path. Yuri, I have something important to tell you, he said with a creepy smile on his face. Yuri sighed tiredly. What is it with this place? Has everyone gone crazy or something? She asked no one out loud. She quickly distracted Roy and ran down the hall. In her hurry, she almost ran into a young woman and her family. I'm so sorry, she said apologetically. The woman had 2 daughters, a son, and a husband. It was an odd sight in such a place. Yui! Yuki shouted. Yui! Alice shouted. The 2 girls ran down the hall to greet the young woman with her children. Yui's husband had thick red hair that matched his younger daughter's head, but the other 2 kids had Yuri's dad's hair, a soft brown like their mother as well. So, this is Yui? Yuri asked incredulously. I didn't look at it. Yep, Yuki said so proudly. They are all coming with us. Yuri looked at her a little disbelievingly. We're not running a nursery school, she told her sister. What are you going to do about the children? They'll come with us, of course, Yuki said proudly. She seemed to grow taller with pride. Yuri shook her head. Whatever. She stormed off down the hall, tired of everyone. You think she's a bit overwhelmed? Daisuke asked Yuki as he walked into the hall. Yuki shook her head confused. I don't know. She smiled at Yui and her family. Come on, dinner will be starting soon. So, only one thing from that chapter actually happens. They ask Yuri for her opinion. I know, I'm ruining the file draft. It's there. I'll be reading it, but it's you can get it online, on Amazon. You can read it on my Wattpad. I don't think I'm that far on my Wattpad, but you can read it on my Wattpad. Oh, the craziness that is. My mind, when I'm writing, I come up with so many random things. But yeah, that's the end of chapter 27. Now we're on chapter 28. Road to Doom. Yes, they're gonna leave, they're gonna move out, they're gonna go to the war. We're finally gonna have our war. Hooray! If you liked it, please leave a like. If you know someone who will like this kind of content, please give it a share. If you absolutely hated it, well, like I said, we're on chapter 28. I mean, seriously, who comes in this far into the series? Like, seriously, so just no. If you want more of this particular content, every Monday I'll be posting a story chapter. Every other week is rough draft, but you know, we'll see. Please subscribe. But yeah. Anyway, hopefully I will see you guys next time. Bye.